America, I find you funny people, especially on the internet. You can't go that far without hearing an American say, I have the right to freedom of speech, or the First Amendment allows me the freedom of speech, or some form of freedom of speech. As a British person, I have to wonder, what is up with that? What is exactly your main reason for this so much like emphasis on freedom of speech? I mean, well, what? So you have freedom of speech. Every country in the world, well, most, I won't say every, most countries in the world do have freedom of speech, but nobody will bang on about it like you, like it's a crusade just to let everybody know that you have freedom of speech and you're allowed to say whatever you want to say. I mean, seriously, in Britain we have freedom of speech. Our constitution is uncodified, which means it's not written in one direct source. It's gathered from a lot of different sources, if you want to put it metaphorically. It's like the American Constitution is one book, but the British Constitution is a compilation of books that create one single story. Now, we have freedom of speech. We have all the same freedoms that America does as well. And freedom of speech is one of them, but you'll never hear somebody in Britain go on about, I have freedom of speech. I have the right to say whatever I want. And the funny thing is, if you look at the way society is, like if you compare Britain and America, there's a lot of odd things I see. I mean, when I see some America, it's like they're very quick to like incite racial hatred. Okay, maybe not that, but like whenever they say things politically, or whenever they say things like racially motivated or something like that, they always have to back it up with, I have the right to freedom of speech. In Britain, I never hear anybody say that. Sure, there might be a couple times, but they're rare, when you might hear somebody say, this is a free country, or they have the right to freedom of speech. But in most cases, when you have freedom of something, it's usually used in the context of going against the norm. For example, in a protest, people say they have freedom of speech or freedom of assembly, but that's only in a protest. In other cases, they know they have it, and they accept it. So why do they have to keep banging on about it? I honestly don't understand what the whole American ideal behind that is. It's like you have something, it's written in your constitution, everybody knows it, but you must still specify the fact that you have this. Now, I'm not saying it's all Americans who do this. I'm just saying there's a decent majority of them who have to say this. It's a lot on YouTube. I see a lot of YouTube videos that always say, I have the right to free speech. But yeah, a lot of them seem like they have to say it because their opinion might be judged in the wrong way. I mean, are Americans that dissuading of opinions that if somebody says something against them, they can't accept it without realizing that people have different opinions, or people have the freedom to say what they want to say? I mean, I don't get it. In Britain, I don't see this idea that the amount of, say, people you have claiming free speech, or the amount of people who say racist things in general, when you compare it with American society, is much lower. And things like freedom of speech protect that sort of idea. Well, I don't know too much about freedom of speech. Trust me, I haven't done the research, and I don't plan to. It doesn't affect me. But what I'm basically saying is that I would just like to know why Americans feel the need to let it be known to everybody that they have this freedom of speech. I mean, it's not such a crucial thing that you need to mention it. I mean, if you're doing a rant on YouTube, do you really need to say that you have the freedom of speech to say whatever you want to say? Or that the First Amendment allows you the freedom of speech to speak out your own views and opinions? I mean, if you've got it and it's set and nobody can infringe on that, why must you therefore mention it again? I mean, think logically. I don't need to say I have freedom of speech. I come on YouTube and do videos, and it's like, what can you say? I could say it's either my opinion or I have the freedom of speech, but I don't, because I expect that people have the logical mindset to know that this is my opinion, this is my personal belief, and therefore you can either accept or deny it. But you can deny it with a click, you can deny it and you can counter it with your own opinion and start discussion. But the main point is, the idea of freedom of speech and constantly mentioning that is one that I just find stupid. I mean, I am repeating myself quite a bit now, but the main point I'm trying to get across that is, if as Americans you know you have it, your First Amendment, as you clearly like to bang on about that, clearly states that you have it, and in the Constitution you do have it. Therefore, if it's in 3 documents that cannot be changed unless through a government act, why do you have to mention the fact that you have freedom of speech, knowing that not only that every single citizen in your country knows that you have this, every single person in the world pretty much knows that America has freedom of speech, and that's probably because they don't shut up about it. But anyway, that's just what I believe and what I think. I mean, take it from me. I mean, don't take it too seriously. You gotta remember, I'm a person outside looking in. I'm from Britain, so unless you can explain it to me in your own words, that'll be good. So leave a video response, leave a comment, or even Skype me. I really don't mind if you Skype me. I want you to Skype me. I sound like I'm begging it. Anyway, as I was saying, you can leave a comment, a response, or even Skype me at Tamax2. I'll put that in the sidebar. Right. Yeah, I'll put that there. Anyway, Tamax2 out.